Good morning, students. This is Lohit Ram SK, Assistant Professor of Commerce, Srimatim Shivayar Government Chocolate College, Pavagada. So, dear students, in this session, I am going to cover the topic called concepts of production function. Here, every business organization or business company have their production function for their products and services in which they are going to produce. So, but we have to know exactly what is production function. That is the meaning of production function first, and then later on we have to know, we must know that what are the concepts which are involved in production function, and depending on the demand and depending on the size of capital and depending on the market situation, the production function has to work, and the uh, things to be employed in production function, it's always depending on the demand and the decision taken by the company towards the production function. So let us see what it means exactly first, later on the concepts. Here, the production function says that it's a key concept of production theory. So because it is a link between inputs usage and attainable level of output. So it formally describes the relationship between the input and resulting output. So in production function, there is a formal functional relationship between the inputs they are going to use and the output they are going to get. So here the input they are going to use is material, labor, machinery, or anything which is connected with the productional activities. So it become input, and the output is the total number of product they are going to produce uh, in the it's called as output. So there is a functional relationship between the input they are going to use and the output they are going to get after productional activities. So this is called a production function. Then under the production function, we can see three types of concepts, that is total product, average product, and marginal product. So let's understand one by one. So the first concept of production function is total product. So here the total product of a factor is the amount of total output produced by a given number of amount of factor. So here the factor is the input they are going to put or employed in producing the goods and services. So here the other factors held constant. That means except the input they are going to use. So except that, all the other things should be held constant or remain same or unchanged. As the amount of factor increases, the total output also increases. So the total product is the product of factor, that amount of total output which is produced by a given amount of factor. So whenever there is any number they are going to give as an input, so from that, using that input, the company may get the output, the total amount, which is called as total product. Let us understand the total product concept by using this table. So here the inputs they are going to use is units of labor, and here in the other three columns we can see the total product, marginal product, and average product. It's given in quintals. So here the labor is indicated as L, and total product is indicated as Q, and marginal product also. Then the average product can be used a short formula like Q by L. So that means quantity or quintals by labor. So here the first unit of labor is employed. The total product is 80. So when they increase the labor into 2, the total product is here increased. So that is 80 to 170. So that means from 80 to 170. So here 90 quintals is increased, and when the units of labor increased from 2 to 3, the total product is increasing. So that's what we have analyzed in the concept of total product, but the other things should be remain constant at the time. So whenever there is an increase in labors, the total product is also increasing. See, when 4 laborers employed, 368, 5 laborers employed, 430, 6 laborers employed, 480, 7, 504. It's continuously increasing. So it decreased only at the ninth labor and 10th labor due to because of variations take place in the other factors production, because there is a thing that other factors should be constant, then only it's going to be increased. If they varied, so it starts diminishing or decreasing. So that's about total product concept. Let's go for the average production concept. So here the average product of the factory is the total output produced, and per unit the factory is employed. So here the total product is produced and the per unit labor is employed. We'll come to know. So it can be done by the total quantity divided by labor. So 80 by 1, 80. So 175 by 170 by 2 is equal to 85. So thus the average product is total product divided by number of units of factor employed. So if Q stands for the total product, then L for the number of variable factors employed, it may be a labor we considered in the table. Then the average product is given by AP, average product is equal to quantity divided by labor employed or variable factor employed. So here we can measure the average product from the total product data given in the previous table. So here the AP is equal to Q by L, the quantity you have taken for the second unit of labor, that is 170 total product is produced, and divided by the labor the variable factor employed, that is 2. So then the average production is 85. So here we can see the 80 average production is 85, the 170 divided by 2, then 270 divided by 3, it become 90. But it may not be increased or decreased. It's depending on the number of uh, variable factor they are going to employ into the total product. So that's all about the average production concept. Then let's move to the marginal production concept or product concept. So here the marginal product of the factor is addition to the total production. So the total number of product, uh, suppose take for example, here the product total product is 80. When they added additional labor of unit and it's increased to 170. Here the marginal rate is 90. Then they employed 3 units of labor. It's increased to from 170 to 270. The additional unit is 100. Then they increased labor 4. Then 272. It increased to 368. So then the marginal become 98. So here up to this, you can see the marginal product is increasing. So after this stage, it's gradually decreased. See, when 4 units employed, 98, when 5 units employed, 62, 6 units, 50, 7 units, 24, and 8th unit, it become 0. And 9th unit, beyond the 8th unit, it become negative values, -9 and -15. The reasons for that, so the variations here by the employment of extra unit of factor, we are going to produce the marginal products. So the marginal product of labor increases at the beginning, as we saw in the table, and then it starts diminishing after a certain stage. So the marginal product of that eighth unit was labor is zero, and beyond that it becomes negative. So it become negative only because of the variation take place in the variable factors which are labor employed in the inputs. The inputs may be varied, their applicability of skills, knowledge, mind, working efficiency, capability, and the optimization of resources. All these things become a considerable factors for this changes in marginal production. So if the marginal production is increasing means they employed the sufficient and capable variable factors or inputs into the production function. So if the marginal production is become negative means, so the input they are used are not capable or insufficient, or they required the skilled labors and well equipped machineries as well as the inputs, other inputs. So in order to produce the positive marginal production or increased marginal production. So this is these are all the concepts which are connected with the production function. So in the revision we come to know that the production function is the function in which we come to know there are three concepts, that is total product, average product, and marginal product. So that's given under the table, under the slide number 4. With the help of that table we analyze that what is total product and how it works, and average product and how it works, and marginal product how it works. So here the average products can be identified or calculated by dividing the total quantity into divided total quantity by the number of labors or variable factors which are employed. Then the marginal product can be increased or decreased based on the inputs they are going to use. That means the additional product they are going to produce, but it's depending on the quality and quantity of the inputs they are going to use, whether the marginal product earn sufficient increase rate or earn a decrease rate. A total product is it's going to be increase continuously from one unit of labor employed to till the last unit, but after certain times it may also going to be decreased gradually, only because of changes in inputs, and inputs are subjected to variability. So they may be changed with the uh, uh, with their capability, their skills, their knowledge, and the equipments which they are going to use. They may not be a correct one, or if they have a sufficient capability, and if the management has planned to utilize them properly with suitable techniques and plans and methods, they achieve all this with a positive rate. Otherwise, the production function may not respond to the requirements of a company or the management of the company. So the company has to keep an eye on production function with the view of demand for their product and services in the market. So according to market demand, they have to produce the goods and services, and they have to maintain the good stock, as well as they must have an inventory control, and uh, they should rotate the employees or increase or decrease the inputs they are going to use for production function depending on the demand. So they should have a good control over production function. So then only the company can have their way of production function. That means which is friendly to their policies, or friendly to their demand for goods and services in the present market. So with this, I would like to conclude my session. Thank you.